Hello everybody and welcome back to SOR, and tonight we're not going to be racing ourselves, but tonight we're actually going to be commentating on the Tier 2 division of the league. So hopefully tonight we just get to sit back, relax and let the chaos go, as obviously last night was a bit of a sticky one for Tier 1, plenty of incidents, and it actually ended with a race getting completely postponed or cancelled. So hopefully we'll see more racing today, and I don't think there is any rain today, so that is going to hopefully make sure that there's enough drivers who are going to cross the line at the end of the race, but we'll see as the session goes on. And at the top at the moment is Andras, someone you'd expect to be leading at the top of the he's leading at the top of standards in the championship, and you expect him to be leading at the top of qualifying. He's P1 with a 28.3. Quite a big difference between him and P2 ACM on a 28.8 at the moment. So we'll see if anyone can get anywhere near Andras as we head to the end of the session. We've got a few drivers I haven't seen in here before. You see Picard in the Alpine and also Lucified Turtle. Haven't seen these two drive before, so we'll see how they get on as we just turn on all the information we're going to need to be able to get the best possible action in the qualifying. So you see Zebrazak now on a lap, deciding to use Hot Lap. Obviously a lot of the players who have been playing F125 since release have found that using the medium ERS strategy is the fastest option. So yeah, we'll see if anyone changed that. Someone said, why is it so bright? I'll have a look quickly and see if I can make that a little bit. Oh, what is it on? Graphics. Yeah, make that a little bit darker. You have to let me know how that is. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Anyway, Zebrazak 3.8 temps up, and he's actually got an Alpine in his way going around the final corner. Hopefully he doesn't get too much dirty air there. You can see just running a little bit wide, and again across the line, and he goes to P3. So good lap there by Zebrazak. No one seems to get anywhere close to Andras at the moment. You see a lot of drivers still in the pits yet set a lap. Wish, I believe, is going on to his outlap. You can see there. Apparently he's gone fastest in the first sector, so we'll see if he can carry us on throughout the lap. And here he goes then into the difficult bridge section. You can easily lose a wheel here on any of the inside walls. See, that one there is very easy to. Also making sure that you brake in a straight line as you go round the hairpin there. You can easily lock the tyres through there, especially the rear. And now he'll make his way down into the final straight and open up the DRS, which is actually interesting to note. There's free DRS detection points on this track, so hopefully that'll aid with overtaking a little bit. I know it's quite hard at the moment to overtake on this game in the dirty air, but either way, Wish will make himself round the final corner, using all the battery to the line. Where's this going to put Wish into P3, and it's a McLaren 3-4 at the moment. And I think we're roughly at the halfway stage of qualifying. You see the caution in Sector 2 flags just getting in the way a little bit there, but we move on anyway, and now we'll try and find someone else who's on a lap. I think most drivers in the garage at the moment. I think Red Ferrari, yep, he's invalidated. So we've got Elite Marvel, who's making his way onto the track and making his first appearance in qualifying so far. Bounces right over the first corner chicane there. Doesn't really want to be doing that too often, but he keeps going anyway. This corner really difficult as you try and get down on the power at turn 5. Really important as well to get the exit out of there, especially when going for an overtaking manoeuvre. So yeah, that's a really critical corner as he's gone ahead now through the difficult turns 7, 8 and 9. Easy to hit any of the inside walls there. Try not to get on that curve too much. Could have really extended the track a little bit there, but basically lost a little bit of speed as he tried to get on the power there. Now again through the bridge section, definitely going to see some incidents through there, as you'll definitely see drivers getting a bit agitated, maybe stuck in a train. So we'll see if we can get much action as we now head into the final sector of the track. And he's going to open up DRS once again. And that's Ollie, actually. He's gone to the top of the time shot. 28.3. And it's the RB12 at the moment. Didn't quite catch his lap there, but good lap by Ollie there to take provisional pole by just, I think, 3 thousandths of a second to his teammate. So good effort there by Ollie. And now we've got someone to challenge Andras, but I'm sure he'll go faster in the other RB. You see, we're already in the low 28s in Tier 2. So I think last night that would have got you in the top 5. So seen some fast laps. Is the ACM now improves again. I think that was Zewert who goes to P4 in the Red Bull. Not seen him drive here before, so it'd be interesting to see what he does. He rocking the classic 2008 Lewis Hamilton helmet there. And here is Scuderia Kush then, the oldest member in the league, showing that he's still got the pace though to play the F1 games, as you see now heading through turns 7. Very sharp line through there, tries to get a little bit of the exit curve, hits that quite nicely and extends the wall. Like I said, that's what you want to be doing. Not quite what Elite Marvel's managed to do so far, but Scuderia Kush just showing exactly how to get it done through there. Now again through the tricky section of the bridge section, braking in a straight line. Not too sure if he runs ABS off or on, so hopefully if he has it on it'll help him through that corner, because it can be very difficult with the no assist through there, but I'm sure a lot of the drivers play with them assists on, so they'll be fine today. And you see there, it's a very hard corner to get right. They're down at turn 14, as you can, there's the white line that sticks quite on the inside, but obviously you've got loads of exit curbs, so it makes you believe that you're inside the track limit, so you've got to be really careful going through there, as he's actually going to head into the pits now. And Lucified Turtle's the next man on a fly, I believe. I think there's a few actually. Lamella Snow might already be on one yet. He's going to be the first across the line in the Haas. What can he do from P15? He'll be wanting to get up the grid a little bit from where he is. Obviously qualifying absolutely crucial, goes P9, not a bad lap, but you might be in trouble towards the end of the session. I think Mercedes is coming to the pits, and I think we've got another McLaren as we try and get, oh no, it's arguable wish on an outlap, as we try and get onto Lucified Turtle, I think is the next person on the lap. You can see he's completely backed off a lap, so is there anyone on a lap who isn't bottling at the moment? Picard in the Alpines, going well so far. We'll see if he can keep it together towards the end of the lap, as he now brakes hard down into turn 14, gets on the power early, just stays in the track limits, nailed that absolutely perfectly in the Alpine there, opens up the DRS, uses all the way up to about 20% of the battery, nicely done as he turns the car in. This is a really difficult chicane also, trying not to run out wide to that wall, but as he's in the pits also, so we still haven't got someone who can keep the car on the track at the moment, as we try and find someone who's improving. See Racing Creeper and Mr. Epic Dragon Red Ferrari all in positions you wouldn't expect at the bottom of the timesheets there, 15th, 16th and 17th. Expect them to improve their laps from there. There's only 3 minutes left in qualifying, so if you want to do your lap, you better get it done now. And I think Andras is now on his outlap looking to take back pole from his teammate, so we'll see how that progresses towards the end of the session. Sorry, we try and get on someone who's actually driving here. See Andras on the start of his lap then in the RB. Does he hit that curb nice and well? Tries to get on the inside curb, runs it out all the way to the wall. Doesn't leave much on the exit, as we try and go on board with him now, using up to 42% of the battery. And now he's braking hard into the next left-hander, and now he's going to move the car all the way to the left as he heads into turn 7. And now through the tricky turn 9, get on the curb nicely, run the car out wide into the wall, and now we're going to be braking hard down into turn 10, and he kisses that curb really nicely, and now he's got to try and move the car left, back onto the curb on the right, goes a little bit deep there, loses the back end, as he's now got to be braking into the chicane at turn 13, kisses the curb on the inside, nicely done, as he tries to push the car out wide, opens up the ERS and the DRS, and he's going to burn all the way to about 35% as he brakes hard now into turn 14, and it's just a nice turn 15 is nice and flat out, no need to lift or anything there, so he's going to burn all the way down to 6%, so using quite a bit of his battery there, but now he's going to come through the final set of corners, turn 16, 17, and now we're going to go to 18 and 19. Where's this going to put Andres as he tries to keep his foot flat to the floor across the line? Andres hasn't improved, and he's not getting pole this time. Ollie, his teammate, already ahead of him, and Argyll Wish has ruined his lap. He was 4 tenths up, but he's into the pits thinking invalidated. Now we go on board with Andres, who's half a tenth down at the moment as he goes through the first long straight of the track. Not got any battery left there, so I think he's going to be harvesting it, and maybe he's got time for another run, not too sure. Devils Latifi, first time back in a while. What can he do in the Mercedes as he's now climbing through the first sector? We're going to try and move on to someone who's on the end of their lap, and that's Lucified Turtle. I think he's bottled his lap. Elite Marvel stays P14. Racing Creeper, Mr. Epic Striker and Red Ferrari all need to set a good lap here to try and pull themselves out of the danger zone. I think Devils Latifi is the first driver on a lap here. You see turning a little bit tight there as he tries to get towards the edge of the curb, and now got to go back to the standard TV mode camera. Does he keep it nice and clean through the bridge section? Looked quite nice there in the Mercedes. Braking hard now into the hairpin just before the next straight. Runs it all the way out to the wall there, so looking good so far. And now he's going to be burning all that battery on that second DRS straight there. As you see, 2 tenths up is the Mercedes driver. This could put him in the top 3. We'll see as he's burnt all of his battery again to 6% as he gets to the next series of corners. Andres retires, he's not going to take pole today. Here comes Devils Latifi though, as he rounds the final corner. Where's this going to put him? He's used all of his battery though, he's trying to make a tight line to the lap. Oh, he's gone 6th, he's not actually improved there in the end. Zebra Zach's improving, only 20 hundredths though. Can he beat Devils to 6th place as he goes across the line? Where's this going to put Zebra Zach? He stays 7th. And now we've got Zert going 2 tenths faster. Hill says Zert is my go. I think Scuderia Kush has just gone to P8, so good lap from him in the Ferrari. And I think we're trying to find now, I think this is Chazza, who's the next driver to come across the line. Looking for a good result in the Kick Sauber. Has been a while for him as he's opened up the battery. He goes across the line. P6, not a bad effort there from Chazza. As we try and find ACM, it goes across the line and takes pole. 28.2. Who can stop ACM? And it's now got to be Ollie who's next, as I think he's bottled his lap as he's 20 hundredths down. Maybe he can gain some time in the final corner though. He's going to go across the line. Where's this going to put him? He stays P2. ACM takes pole at the death here. We've still got a few drivers improving on a lap, and it's 5 tenths up for Zert. Zert's going to come across the line. Where's he going to go? He takes pole. It's a 28.0. In Tier 2, what a lap by the Red Bull man. He takes pole in the Red Bull. As we try now to find the last few drivers who's going to come across the line. You see Pickard on his lap. He goes to P9. Not a bad effort there. I think it's his debut race at the moment. Miss Epic Striker 2 tenths up. Can he improve himself from P16? Where's he go? He stays P16. And here comes Red Ferrari then into the pits, and that'll be him done in qualifying. But unknown Zert with a lap from nowhere to take pole by 2 tenths of a second from ACM. Really good laps there by the top 5, all very competitive. And it's Zert who bags his first pole, I think, in this league. So well done to him. I think Andres will be kicking himself after not being able to improve on his first lap of the session. But our grid is set now for the race. There we go then, there's your order. Unknown Zert with a debut pole. 28.0 ahead of ACM in P2. Good effort from him. Ollie, P3, Andras. P4, you normally expect a little bit more than him, so expect him to come faster in the race. I will wish a respectable P5. Chazza gets a nice result there. P6, Devils on his return. P7, Miss Master Zombie with a good lap in P8. Definitely higher than he would have expected. Pickard, Elite Miles, Fury, of course, Racing Creeper down in P12. Zebazak, Lamello, Snow, and then I think we had Mr. Epic Striker, Blue Williams, Mojo Peak, all at the bottom with Zorro, who didn't set a lap also. And Jay Lang will actually start from last position, so not where he would have wanted to be also. Here we go then, we are ready to start the race. I'm sure we'll teleport to the grid anytime in the near future, as we're just looking at down the pit lane at the moment. Who is going to win the race? Let's get the predictions in early, as we now start to see the lights appear, and we're going to go to 5 red lights in Tier 2, Singapore. And it's a bit of a delay, but the lights are out, and it's a good start there by the Aston Martin driver. I think he's already jumped Zert as we now try to go back to the front. As they're now ghosting. See the two RBs in front of each other, and one of the RBs already crashed. And it's now cutting the chicane between the RB and the Aston Martin. Red Bull leads, and ACM's going to follow now into P3. And it's a big moment there for Ollie, who's already down into P20. As you can see now, all the rest of the grid, you see that front wing going everywhere there. I think that was a Ferrari driver in the background, might have been Master Zombie there, who's lost a bit of his front wing. It could have actually, I think it's Scuderia Kush, who's actually lost a few positions since the start of the race. So as we try and get all the details on that we need for the rest of the race. Oh, and you can see most of the drivers starting on the medium tyre. Pickard already making a move on Elite Marvel. They're going to go side by side now as they head through the fast right-hander. And oh, it's a big spin already, and that's the Alpine in the wall. That's going to bring out a yellow flag. Is this going to cause a virtual safety car? I think we are fine so far, as we now go back to the top of the grid. Or Zewert leads by 5 tenths to Arguable Wish. He's on a brilliant start into P2 in the McLaren already, as we just pick up the position change already. Yeah, 3 positions for Arguable Wish. Andras managed to stay out of the trouble. He's in P4. Racing Creeper already up 3 positions. So is Lucifer Turtle up 4. Mr. Bit Striker up 4. And Zorro also up 4 positions already. Ollie losing 14, but he's already managed to recover himself to P17. ACM 1, 2, 3. Running around with a broken front wing. You see he hits the wall again. That's not good for him. He's going to be holding up the rest of the grid, and it's allowing now Arguable Wish and Zewert to get away. Arguable Wish actually runs wide at the final corner, so that'll be a track warning for him. And there's a bit of a gap already expanding between Andras and Chazza, and it's only lap 2. As we head now on to the second lap, and we'll see if any drivers want to go for an early move. And I think the McLaren driver is just going to stay behind the Red Bull driver for the time being. And it's ACM. He's just struggling still with that broken front wing. Andras is going to be desperate to clear that Aston Martin as soon as possible, as he doesn't want to lose time to the leaders already. As we now come through to the tricky bridge section, don't clip the wall, it keeps it nice and well. Zewert building a nice 7/10 gap there to Arguable Wish at the start of the race, and it's actually Andras who's all over the back now of the Aston Martin with the broken front wing. Can Andras line up a move there? I think ACM's still getting the DRS. This is going to be really difficult now for Andras to try and make that move. You see he's got a little bit more of the battery, just using none there. He's actually got a really good run now out of turn 14. What can he do heading into the last sector of the track? And you see now he's opened DRS, just having a little look there on the Aston Martin. It's only a matter of time the Aston Martin's actually dropped out of DRS range now of the leaders, so it's not going to be long before you see Andras smashing past that Aston Martin, as Arguable Wish actually sets the fastest lap of the race, as he's now looking to go after Zewert and take that win away from him. And ACM still struggling with the broken front wing, but they're still doing enough just to keep the other drivers ahead. You see Devils Latifi making his way past Chazza, Racing Creeper up another position into P8. It's a charge back from him. I think Devils might have got a little bit of a penalty there as he went across the track, or maybe just a warning for now. You see ACM and Andres going side by side. Andres now making the move on the wounded Aston Martin. But ACM's going to have another look, maybe down the inside. No, he just stays behind for the time being. But now Andres is in the clear air to go after the two leaders on lap number 3. You can see now we look back to further down the order. I think Racing Creeper already lining up a move on Mr. Master Zombie, also known as Ben in the Ferrari. We'll see if Racing Creeper can make a move over the course of the next coming laps. You see Master Zombie actually dropping out of DRS. Maybe he just got it. I think he just did. That's crucial for his race. Just staying in the DRS of Chazza there ahead. And it's been a relatively calm start, other than Ollie obviously losing a lot of positions. He looks like he's actually going to make a move here as he's very close to Mojo Peak in the Aston Martin. He's trying to go round the outside in the RB. Can he pull this off? It's going to be close. No, just stays behind for the time being. Drivers already struggling to make overtakes in the DRS train. You see the whole grid pretty much in the DRS train, apart from Red Ferrari. You see Red Ferrari actually defending now from the Haas, and they've hit each other, and the Haas has now got front wing damage. And oh, they've crashed into each other again. What's going on there? Oh, there's a big crash once again. How are they still on the track race? Blue Williams goes round, and oh my days, 3-second time penalty for Mojo Peak. He is not going to be happy with that. As you see J Lang already running round with half a front wing. There's not much left on that front wing of his there. And I'm sure the stewards will have a word with that. See Miss Epic Striker losing out on 2.8 seconds now to the cars ahead. And yeah, there we go. Already a bit of an accident though. See Chazza 3/10 behind ACM. And Zebrazak is retired from the session and left the session, so I don't know where he's done that. I think that might have been in the pit lane already as we try and get the big map on so we can actually see where that is. Yeah, already on the pit lane. Zebrazak is out of the session. And here we go then, on to lap number 4. Oliver Wish still chasing down the leader in the Red Bull. And Andres is now caught right back up to these two, and there's a big train now as Devils Latifi's actually got past the Aston Martin, and now it's going to be Chaz's turn to have a go at the Aston Martin. And this is helping Master Zombies. He's managed to now stay in the DRS, and I think in the background is like a move for Scuderia Kush, trying to look for a late lunge on the other Kicksauer Elite Marvel, but can't quite get the move done. I see Elite Marvel also running round with broken front wing. As Mr. Epic Striker tries to catch up to these two, and I think the background, Lamello Snow and Scuderia Kush going out. I think Scuderia Kush had a bit of a poor exit coming out of turn 19 there, and that is the move done for him. And it's a 10-second speed in the pit lane penalty already for Lucified Turtle. Yep, I am muted. Thank you, Bassem. Yeah. So we were just mentioning that Racing Creeper all the way up into P7 past Master Zombies. That was his first major overtake of this stint so far. You see Ollie all the way into P11 already after going to the back of the order on the first lap. So really making progress now as he tries to climb through the field as fast as possible. You see Pickard and Lucifer also having a little battle, but they're a little bit off the lead at the back there for P18 and 19, sorry. As Andres is all over the rear wing of Arguelwish once again. He tried to go for a move on it this position last time. He's going to go for it again. He's going to burn all the batteries. See Arguelwish moving to the left to try and defend the position. Andres trying to go around the outside but can't quite make it work, and Arguelwish defends him once again. I think Andres has got to be really smart with his battery and try and use it at the best possible opportunity. Maybe it's going to be the next straight, but he's only got 35% of the battery left. How much has Wish got? He's got less, so it's going to be quite hard for Arguelwish to defend from Andres here. As you see, once again, Andres using all the battery, 8%. He's going to try and go for the outside this time. Arguelwish going to defend the inside once again. Really nicely done there by the McLaren driver as Andres tries to look down the inside but just keeps it in position at the moment. As we move down the order just to see what's going on there, I think Zorro's made his way past Pickard and he's actually got a front wing on him, so fair play to Zorro for still having a front wing at this point in the race. As Ollie now gets ever closer to Scuderia Kush, and he's really lapping strongly here as he tries to just try and see how far he is off the leader. 13 seconds, so he's still got a chance in the race. As we look at Andres one more time, look how close he is to Arguelwish. He's definitely getting held up here. He's going to go open up the DRS on the DRS. Can he have a move this time? Now he's going to go for a late switch back down the inside. Is this going to work? What a move he does. He tries to pull it down the inside. Arguelwish is going to hold the outside. He goes off track. That's going to have to give the position back to Andres there. Can't drive off the track there and keep the position, but he's going to stay ahead anyway. And here we go. Andres open up the ERS and the DRS one more time. He's actually going to go around the outside this time. I don't think there's anything Arguelwish can do about it. We'll have to see if Wish will stay with him. See Wish off the track again, that's got to be another warning, so I'm pretty sure he's racked up a few on that lap. And now Andres is going to chase down Ziwa and try and get the race win once again, as he's done so many times this year already. And it's now Racing Creeper who's chasing after the wounded Aston Martin. He's got to open up the DRS using Hot Lap. Just going to stay behind, I think, for the time being. Maybe going to set him up into Sector 3. We'll soon see with that. As we now have got Ollie looking to try and get past, but he just can't get past the slower drivers. Obviously, with the train that Master Zombie's holding up here, he's going to have to wait for Lamella Snow to move first if he wants a chance of getting past Scuderia Kush, moving all the way around the rear wing of that Haas driver. He's actually showing how much pace he can still have, even with the front wing damage. But you see, he's getting very close, but just isn't going to be able to have the downforce through the corners to get quite close enough. You see, he's actually on the hard tyre, so a lot of these drivers on the medium, so Kush might just have enough pace at the moment with the damage to stay with these guys. He's now running, see, a little bit deep there, and it's going to give an opportunity to Ollie in the RB. Here we go, DRS open. Ollie's going to try and pull to the inside. He's going to go for a late dive boom move, and Scuderia Kush turns in a little bit. Fair play by Ollie though, good move, and now he's got past Scuderia Kush and into P10. This is what a comeback drive we're watching here, as Kush has actually reopened DRS to try and go for a move once again, but no. Ollie just plants his car perfectly through turn 14 and 15 there, just to deny that happening. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. It's a Mercedes. Oh, who is that? It's Devils Latifi. Has binned it on the straight, I'm pretty sure. As we try and look back, yes, he has. So Devils Latifi has managed to bin it on the start-finish straight. Must have lost the rear traction there for the final corner. If you try and keep that flat when you've got worn tyres, you'll be in a whole world of trouble. You see now Lamella Snow, beautiful run on Master Zombie's already on the inside of him. Master Zombie's going to do his best to try and hold him up. He's holding it in gear 7. I think that's just a glitch there, but either way, Lamella Snow is the first one to budge Master Zombie, but he runs a little bit wide. Now Master Zombie's going to look to try and get closer to the rear wing of that Haas, but I don't think it's going to help him, as Ollie now is all over the back of Master Zombie in the Ferrari, and he's now going to open up a little bit of ERS, try and get a little bit closer. Can Master Zombie stay with Lamella Snow through the bridge section? Because this is crucial for Ollie. He wants Master Zombie to fall out of that DRS as soon as possible. because he wants to get the move done on the Ferrari driver. So we'll see now, going for a wider line, trying to get on the power a little bit early, but he just can't get past there. As you can see, Master Zombie just parking on the apex. It's Jay Lang's now retired. What has happened to him? Try and find a picture of him. As you see, red Ferrari going slowly. I think the safety car has been pulled out here on lap number 9. Took a little bit longer than expected, but this is perfect now for those on the medium tyres, as they can get a free box and get onto the hard tyres. I think we have got a safety car. It might be a virtual. Not seen a safety come out the pits yet, but we've seen a lot of the drivers pitting already. Will we have the same glitch as yesterday with the drive-throughs? We'll have to find out not long until that. As we're just looking now at all the drivers diving into the pits, I think Z-Words actually stayed out, same as Racing Creeper. So Racing Creeper, Master Zombie, Epic Striker, Mo all stay out. Arguable Wish, Ollie, Lamelso, ACM, Devils, Scooter Kush all decide to pit and get that free pit stop. So a bit of an interesting decision there from the top 4, but we'll see if they just wanted a little bit of track position, possibly. Unlucky for Jay Lang, he's out after a lot of practice he's done this week, probably pretty gutted with that. And yeah, can't be too long now until we see the continuation of the race. I think the virtual safety car ends soon. And there we go, green flag racing, and no one has actually managed to pick up a drive-through this time. So interestingly enough, everyone managed to time that perfectly. You see now Racing Creeper's got 12 seconds to catch to the Red Bull, so that's going to be difficult for him as he try and actually go back onto the tyres. That's probably more important. See 9 lap old mediums for the whole of the top 5. Maybe waiting out for another safety car, possibly. We'll have to see how that goes. But it's P4 from this Epic Strikers, who's using that track position perfectly there. And now Andres is actually the joint leader at the moment. He's the one who's got the free pit stop and on the fresh tyres, so expect him to be close to leading the race when Zert pits. So we'll have to see how that goes. You see 10 lap old mediums for Zert, as he's already crossed the start finish line. And now it's Racing Group who's just maintaining the gap to the leader at the moment. And it's now Miss Epic Striker and Master Zombie who are going to go at it soon. The two cousins in the race. Arguable Wish and Andres going side by side through there, and that's Arguable Wish making his way past Andres, obviously on the new mediums. So that explains the pace difference there in the McLaren. He's got to be absolutely rapid at the moment. It's going to be hard for Andres to stay with him, and I think this is Arguable Wish's chance to get a lovely undercut done on Zert, who I think has made a little bit of an error here by not pitting underneath the virtual safety car. And Devils Latifi's picked up another 3-second time penalty. We have a look quickly to check that. Mojo Peak on a 6-second. And then we got Andres also on a 3-second. ACM, Devils, Marvel and Loose Vital. So it's a late safety car. Those who haven't got a penalty are in with a shout of a good finish here. And once again, it's Master Zombie causing a little bit of a train here. You can see Mr. Epic Striker now getting closer and closer in the Mercedes as he looks to try and make his way past his cousin. Here we go then, Lamella Snow, red Ferrari going at it. Managed to avoid a crash this time. Also, you see, there was a little bit of colliding last time they went for it. Arguable Wish sets a new fastest lap of the race. He's flying on the mediums, as I said before. But we've also got Andres, who's showing very good pace on the hards to keep with him. Lamella Snow actually takes the fastest lap of the race. That's a bit surprising, but he runs straight over the first corner. That's got to be a track warning, I think, as we've just seen him climb over that first corner. Ollie now into P10. Continuing to gain positions in this race, and he's now going to try and size up red Ferrari for a move on the hard tyres. As we just get that back on to the tyre, you can see there Mr. Epic Striker actually made a move on his Cousin there, and he's going to try and hold the inside. Master Zombie just allows him to do so, and I think Mojo Peak now wants to get involved, so he tries to pull to the outside, and I think that's Arguable Wish now caught behind the two drivers ahead already, so he's going to start to get slowed down a little bit by the Ferrari here. We'll see if Master Zombie can try and keep him ahead, which I think is going to be very difficult to do. Look at Arguable Wish already trying to go around the outside of the chicane, open up the DRS in the ERS. Brilliant move by the McLaren driver. Just got so much more grip on them tyres. It's going to be very difficult for Master Zombie to do anything about that. You see Arguable Wish already got the grip and the tyres to go for his move on his ex-rival, Mississippi Striker. These two never end well when fighting, but this time Mississippi Striker just lets him through. And that's Arguable Wish now into P3. And this is halting Andros's progress a little bit as he's still stuck behind Master Zombie and Mississippi Striker. This is going to let Arguable Wish get away now as he's stuck behind the slower drivers. You see he's going to open up DRS and try and go for a move. Oh, I think he lost a bit of his front wing there as he just had too much pace coming out the final corner. And he's lost the end plate on his wing, just overtaking Master Zombie there. And it's now Ollie, his teammate, who's setting the fastest lap of the race as he's actually starting to claw back and get himself back into this race as he's overtaken ACM to go into P9 in this race already. So watch out for Ollie still in P9 as now Racing Creeper just dropped a couple of seconds to the leader, but I think he's just trying to maintain them tyres and take them as far as possible. Obviously he's going to have much better tyres at the end of the race than everyone else, and of course if there's a safety car now, Racing Creeper is going to be absolutely loving it as he's ahead of Arguable Wish for the time being. But Arguable Wish is going to be about 3 seconds a lap faster. Wouldn't be too surprised if this time next lap Arguable Wish is all over the back of Racing Creeper, as you see already gaining 5 tenths through the bridge chicane there, as he's now flying ahead to try and close in to the leaders. Ollie now on the rear wing of LaMelo Snow in the second RB. Hopefully he can keep his front wing intact as he goes down the inside of LaMelo Snow, and I think LaMelo Snow's just going to let him past or not. He's going to defend the position. Who's going to get DRS here though? It's going to be Ollie, and this should be quite a simple move for the RB driver. Just timed it perfectly there. As now Master Zombie's been overtaken now by Mojo Peak in the Aston Martin, so just struggling with a bit of tyre where I think Master Zombie is at the moment, dropping off in pace. Has Mississippi Striker just running his home race at the moment, doing very well just to keep with it, showing that he has got the pace to be a tier 2 driver, as much as people would have him in tier 3 at the moment. You see Arguable Wish now already with Racing Creeper. We said he'd be there or thereabouts this time this lap, so we'll see now if he can get the move done nice and early. I don't think Racing Creeper will defend it too hard, as he knows Arguable Wish is just going to be so much faster on the fresh mediums compared to 13 lap mediums. As now Arguable Wish opens up overtake, as he's just going to line up Racing Creeper, I think, here for a move. We're now watching through the bridge chicane. Look how much time he's gaining in the traction zone. As you can see, he's all over the rear wing of Racing Creeper. He's now going to open up the chicane. Brakes a little bit deep there, but he's going to have so much traction on the exit, and I don't think there's going to be anything Racing Creeper will be able to do here as Arguable Wish moves into P2 in the race, and he's now going to chase down the leader, Zewa, who's quite a lonely race at the time being in the Red Bull, but come pit stop time he's going to have a lot to do. As you see, that's now another yellow flag, and I think it's that red Ferrari who's in the wall. No, it's the other one, Pickard, into the wall once again, and he's just having a bit of a miserable race there down in P16. See if he can recover from there. And we now got Ollie going for a move now on Master Zombie. We've seen his teammate do it before, but the two are going to dive into pits. This is perfect time for Ollie, but he's actually going to have LaMelo Snow now all over the rear wing of him. Can he keep him ahead for the time being? I think he can do. And that's perfect time for Ollie, as he doesn't have to get stuck behind Master Zombie like his teammate did. And he's only actually 6 seconds off his teammate after going to the back of the order at the start of the race. So this is a good recovery drive. We'll see if LaMelo Snow is actually going to try and get an overtake done though on Ollie, who he's very close to at the moment. But I think he's just a little bit too far behind. You see 5 tenths isn't going to be enough to get an overtake done. Zorro now making moves. I think he's gone past the 2 that are pitted, so good undercut by Zorro. But he's on 13 lap hold hard, so he's going to really struggle to stay ahead for too much longer. You see now Racing Creeper on the fresh hards, got a 7-second gap to catch to those who undercut him in the VSC. We'll see what his progress is like. Ollie now all over the back of Mr. Epic Striker, as you would expect on the newer, fresher hard tyres. You see he's pushing him round the bridge. Will he open it up again perfectly? Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Oh, as he's actually had LaMelo Snow's gone right into the back of him as he's tried to open up the corner. And unfortunately for LaMelo Snow, that's a little bit too late there as he's tried to get down the inside and sneak a move on Andres. And that's, well, not on Andres, on Ollie. And that's Ollie into P4 behind his teammates. A good recovery from him. And that's LaMelo Snow's received 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We'll see if he actually got any front wing damage from that. And as he did, you can see left end plate completely off that Haas car. And now that's Mr. Epic Striker gets into the pits. This is going to free up ACM to now have a late push. Z-Works coming out the pits. He's got to completely across the pit lane line. That is not allowed, so that's going to be a 3-second time penalty for him. As he's now going to have to chase down ACM. But you see Arguable Wish with a massive undercut on him. You see about 12 seconds, and Z-Works probably wondering why he's so far behind. But here we go. Can Z-Work get the position back straight away on ACM? He's got to move to the outside. ACM's going to try and defend it. We've got a shitty camera angle, but he's managed to do it. ACM struggles to stay in this race. You see Z-Work now past him into P4. Retirement in the pits, or I don't know where that was, but LaMelo Snow has given up. I think he's in the wall at the first corner there. You can see his car parked on the edge of the track. And that's the first DNF. And is this going to bring the safety car up? I'm not sure if it's a VSC. Game doesn't tell you, so that's brilliant. I think it's a VSC, as I'm not seeing the safety car come out of the pits just yet. But either way, that's a bit painful for those who just pitted the lap before, as they would have had a free pit stop and fresher tyres. So those who stayed out that one lap, see Racing Creeper, Mojo Pete, Mr. Epic Striker, all probably fuming that that's happened just then, to be honest. And you see we're already back to green flag racing, so that's happened really fast. Car's been removed, and here we go. ACM managed to stay with Z-Work there through the VSC, but I think he's going to lose time as he goes through the heavy attraction zone through there. Now Andras, still that broken front wing, can't get any closer to Arguish at the moment. His teammate is actually going to close Andras in a little bit. You can see he's got a full front wing, so it's going to be difficult for him. Z-Work closing in already, 4.2, showing what pace he's got already. You see the gap coming down all the time on the fresher tyres, as those ahead might have to pit again, so we'll see if they're going to come into pit one more time. We know Racing Creeper and Z-Work can both go to the end of the race from the time being now, so maybe it was a good strategy to stay out that extra 3 laps, even if it was going to cost you the VSC. You see now Chazza lining up Scuderia Kush on medium tyres. I think Kush might have actually got the move done on Chazza. You can see they're both on similar tyres, but I think Chazza's got to struggle now with the tyre wear to stay with Kush. And the gaps have actually spread out a bit now, so we've got a little bit of gaps to look at. You see Zorro's not going to be able to keep with Master Zombie, so that's got to go over a second. And this battle here is the closest we've got on track at the moment. Arguable Wish leads from 3.8 seconds. Andras closing it in a little bit. Ollie also closing to the back of Andras, so it's going to tighten up at the front a little bit. Look how much time Z-Work's close up into the back of Ollie. You see already. Look at the lap times. Ollie actually setting the fastest lap last time around, but I think Z-Work is closing in now. He's actually showing the pace, 2.6 seconds. He's closing in rapid on Ollie, so maybe Ollie's backed off a little bit this time around. Here we go then. Another yellow flag. Mr. Epic Striker, I think. No, it's the two Alpines there. That's Pickard once again in the wall. Lost his front wing, time to pit for him. So I want to put it back on at interval actually, there we go. and I've never seen this in a race on F125 so far. There's not a single car in DRS. As you see now, that's Pickard, who's decided to DNF and retire in the pit lane. That's his race over the Alpine. Unfortunate for him, but just hasn't been able to keep the car on the track over the course of the 18 laps. So unfortunate, but likely there for the Alpine driver. As you can see, Ziwa really did Ollie now. Only 1.6 second gap. Expect him to be in DRS on the next lap. And there's only 10 laps to go in the race now. You see Unknown Zert setting the fastest lap, much faster than what anyone else is doing on track, by roughly a second. So he's going to be a real threat as we get to the end of the race, but has he got enough time to catch up to both Ollie and Andres? We know Arguel Wish has got to pit again, surely. 9 laps on mediums already, they're not going to go another 10 laps, I don't think. And see where's actually binned it! No way, he's binned it coming off turn number 5. Rear wing slides, and that's all of his time completely gone that he's caught up, and that's 5.6 seconds now. He's got to close back into Ollie. So crucial mistake there from Ziwa, and that's going to allow Ollie a little bit of breathing room. As Andres continues to close into Arguel Wish, whose tyres are really fading now, and that's Arguel Wish. And, oh, it's Racing Creep and Scuderia Kush who are getting a little bit closer for comfort. You can see, I think Racing Creeper got the move done, but they got very tight and close there. You see now Racing Creeper up into P7 as he's trying to climb his way back through the order after being on the fresher tyres than everyone else around him. And Scuderia Kush now dropping back behind the Williams driver. But interesting now, can Ziwa pick up the pace and get back to Ollie? And look at Andres, 1.1 seconds, and that's Arguel Wish into the pits. Where's he going to come out? Andres takes the lead of the race, but I think he's going to really struggle to go on to the end on them tyres. I think Racing Creeper and Ziwa are going to be the best positioners. Now Arguel Wish is going to come out really deep in the race, and I'm pretty sure he's going to have a few cars that he's going to need to overtake, and one is going to include, I think that's Red Ferrari. He's going to get out ahead of him. Oh no, sorry, Racing Creeper, who's going to be very fast. He's going to get behind Kush in the McLaren, so he's got a lot of work to do from now until the end of the race if he wants to get back on the podium, but it's definitely doable. He's going to be much faster than the cars around him, but there's going to be some fast cars to overtake also. You see Racing Creeper's also going to be on a charge of his own. Yeah, it's possible to go to the end of the race, but I think Z-Works is going to be too fast for them. Like, he's got 9 seconds. I think he's probably going to lap about a second faster a lap, so it's definitely going to be close if there's no safety car, so we'll see. As Arguel Wish already on the back of Scuderia Kush on the fresh tyres, and I don't think anything Scuderia Kush can do is going to keep him behind. You see Arguel Wish still getting them hard tyres warmed up, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for him, but it's going to open up overtaking DRS. And look at the exit, he gets there on the Ferrari driver, and this is going to be an easy move for him up into P7. As Scuderia Kush actually defends it, and oh, there's a bit of a collision there, so there's a little bit of controversy. I think Wish might have turned in a little bit too early down Scuderia Kush, didn't realise he was still alongside there. As Ollie trying to chase down Andres, but not really making any impression considering Andres has got front wing damage. I think Andres is doing alright so far with that broken front wing. As he went once again closing at a much faster pace than anyone else. If we have a look at the fastest laps once more, I'm going on the wrong thing. There we go then. You see Ziwa still holding down the fastest lap at the moment, but I'm not too sure what the pace is looking like as we try and just have a little bit of a look here while there's nothing going on. So he's doing 33.8 on the hards. What's Andres doing at the moment? 35.1, so yeah, 1.3 seconds faster is Ziwa at the moment than the leader, and that'll be enough if he can do that to the end of the race to challenge Andres for the lead. we've got an interesting thing going on here. As you see, Racing Creeper chasing down Devil's Latifi for P5, but we also got Argo Wish flying on the fresh hards. See, just taking out tenths of a second basically everywhere on Racing Creeper. I'm sure he'll gain another couple of tenths through the next corner. You see, up to 1.6, so yeah. Argo Wish possibly going to be in the DRS next lap of Racing Creeper once again. These two fighting it out quite a lot on the track so far. What's Devil's Latifi done? Devil's Latifi is into the pit, so he doesn't think he can go to the end of the hards. He's going to have to do all the work to pull himself back into the race, as he's now going to come out roughly around Master Zombie. I think maybe just a little bit behind Master Zombie. He'll have a lot of clean air though, so time for him to pump in some fastest laps in the Mercedes. But Ziwet now picking up even more pace. You see 2 seconds now to Ollie. Ollie just keeping that 5-second gap to Andres. Hasn't really changed between the front two. Racing Creeper now is at risk of a DRS overtake from Argo Wish, but I don't think Racing Creeper's going to let this one go as nicely as last time, as obviously this time it is for position. They've both done their pit stop. Zorro with the fastest lap of the race. That's a bit surprising, as he's on the fresh mediums, so making the most of them. And Argo Wish is going to close once more, as we get a lovely helicopter view around the hairpin under the bridge. He's now going to open up DRS and ERS as he tries to get closer to the Williams, but I don't think he's going to be close enough on this straight, as he's now going to open up turn number 14, get on the ERS early on the DRS, and now he's going to try and get past Racing Creeper. I don't think Racing Creeper can defend it. He goes into none and just decides not to defend that position, which is fair enough in the Williams. And Mojo Peak now fighting with Scuderia Cushion. He's actually got the move done for P7. And Mr. Epic Striker is going to be on the back of Cush in no time on the fresher hard tyres, only 6 laps old on the Mercedes. As he were now closed all that time in that you had before, but there's another yellow flag, and I think that's Elite Marvel now, who's made a mistake. As we see, he's in a wall. Don't know what's going on here. He's completely cut off at the runoff, and he's trying to get back on track, and he just about manages, but he's spun round again. Here we go then, into reverse. Can he get back on track this time? Yes, he does. There we go. And Zorro has now overtaken him for P14. I think that might have been the leaders, actually. Might have been lapped already. Here we go then. Mr. Epic Striker and Skewer Kush. Nice easy overtake for the Mercedes driver into P8. Good effort from him. And Racing Creeper has actually managed to stay with All Your Wish in the DRS as the time being. I think All Your Wish is going to have too much pace, so through the bridge section you see the temps are just going to get higher and higher as they climb through this part of the racetrack. And I think Creeper just did enough there to stay in DRS once again, so we're just going to see the time come down now. He's got loads of battery, so he had enough to defend last lap with. I think he should have maybe defended a little bit more. They're still going to close in, obviously, to ACM, as ACM's going to be much slower on the older tyres. But here's Zert, actually, on the back of Ollie. 5 tenths is the gap. Ollie's going to defend this with everything he has. Obviously, his teammate's leading the race, so he's going to try and keep Andres ahead, as Elite Marvel's now retired in the pit lane. As we're going to have got to go back onto this battle, you can see we're very close to the rear wing of Ollie's. Going to get a bit of a dirty air through there, but he actually manages to stay like glued to the back of the RB. You see RB already trying to weave on the straights to defend the position. He pushes him all the way to the wall, and Ziwert's still got to go down the inside, and that's the position done for the Red Bull driver. Ollie did everything he could to defend that, but there was nothing stopping Ziwert going through, and he's now got 5 seconds is the gap to try and close into Andres to win this race. As we now only got 16 runners, and Lucifer Turtle still not overtaken Elite Marvel, whose car is actually on the track at the moment. See, it's DNF, but still racing round there. As Argo Wish is now all over the back of ACM as he's trying to climb his way back into a podium, but I think he's left it a little bit too late with the boxes. As you see, he's got 10 seconds then to get to Ollie, which I think is going to be too much for him to do. But either way, he'll take a P4 at this stage, as he's going to open up the DRS wing. He's already going to move to the right hand side and get past ACM and into P4, and it's now Racing Creeper's turn to try and overtake ACM You see Ollie already dropping a second behind. Zert now chasing down Andres. He's going to have 6 laps to do it. And he's got 5 seconds to catch. So can he catch it about a second a lap? We can see what the gap is next time around. As Racing Creeper now gets into the DRS, as Mojo Peak is now under threat from Mississippi Striker, who's having a decent little race here in the Mercedes as he tries to close to Mojo Peak. I think Mojo Peak might have got the move done. I'm not too sure which way around that is swapped. See now Master Zombie getting past Caution. I think's pitted once again, and I think he couldn't take them tyres to the end of the race. It's going to be very difficult for Andres to take his tyres to the end of the race. You see now Chazza and Scuderia Kush going at it. Racing Creeper gone past ACM, and that moves him up into P5, so we'll be quite happy with his race so far. As now gets ever closer. He's actually closing in faster than a second, I believe. I think it was 5 seconds across the line, so I think Zert might get Andres here. It's now 3.9 seconds. Look how much he's gaining already. I think Andres' tyres have hit that cliff stage where they're really starting to struggle. And Argo Wish is actually closing in on Ollie at a really fast pace here. Obviously, on the 10 lap fresher tyres, Ollie's going to be absolutely tiptoeing around the track at the moment. So maybe Argo Wish still got a shout at the podium here. We'll have to soon find out. Here comes Mr. Epic Striker though, once again in DRS. Can he get a good exit out of turn 14? Going to try and open up DRS nice and early, but I don't think he's going to have enough battery. Well, he's got enough battery, but I don't think he's going to have enough speed to get past Mo. New hards versus old hards are roughly about 2 seconds a lap faster, maybe even more. The definite tyre drop off you get from having older tyres around Singapore, so expect like Kush maybe to get back into the podium positions. You see he's already just passing, I think that's the lapped Lucifer Turtles, just having an absolutely horrendous race down in P15. And now look at him, already going to be in DRS range pretty much as we get onto the first straight, but I know Andres is not going to let this one go easily. Ollie actually decides to pit, and Argo Wish is into the podium position, so Ollie can't hang on. His tyres will not go to the end of this race. Ollie in P4, that's going to promote Creeper to P4. So all that work that Ollie did is now going to have to be a few good time trial laps at the end of the race if he wants to get back into a decent position. You see Mr. Epic Striker is actually going to gain from that as well, and the two Aston Martins having a nice race so far. See ACM starting at the front of the grid, but he's really been punished by that front wing damage at the start of the race. But Zert now in DRS range of Andres in the Red Bull, in the RB should I say. It's RB versus Red Bull, and Kush setting the fastest lap of the race. You see the fresh mediums will be so much faster than everyone else. I think Ollie will get maybe P6 in this race. He's going to be so much faster than the car's head. But you see Zert now in the DRS and the RS range. You see 30% battery left. He's got 7/10 of a second to close into Andres, so he's going to have to be really well orchestrated through these few corners here. Maybe wasting an opportunity on this race. He's not got the battery for it. What's Andres looking at? 29% battery, so Andres with the battery advantage for the time being. As we now head on to lap number 28, and it's going to be a very close ending. You see Zert once again burning the battery to try and get past Andres, but it's not going to quite happen now. It's now a 4/10 gap as we head through the first couple of corners, and now we're going to head onto the first main straight, and this is going to be very difficult for Andres, obviously suffering with a broken front wing. I'm sure if he didn't have that front wing, he'd have a few more seconds in the tank at the moment, but here we go. Zert all over the back of Andres. Can Andres do anything to stop Zert from making a move here? He's going to try and push him to the outside of the track. He's going to have to try and brake late here to try and stop him from making a move. Get a bit of a poor angle, but that's going to do nothing to stop the Red Bull from taking the position there, and Andres is going to have to settle for second, I think, in this race. I think Zert has got this fully covered, as Argo Wish now has got a few laps to try and see if he can get within that 3 second window of Andres. He's going to be a lot faster. We'll see if he can put a few quality laps in there to get P2. As the Racing Creep is having a lovely race here in P4. Drivers not really using the one stop to best advantage. I think those who have two stopped have definitely struggled in the race. See, Wish is having a nice end to the race, but I think he would have probably wanted to be on that older strategy. See, Ollie already past the Mississippi Striker has said how much faster their mediums will be. You can see he's gained 5 seconds in about 2 laps, and there we go now. Ollie probably already going to try and make a move on the Aston Martin driver as he goes. Oh, he's got right into the back of him. As you see, Mojo Pete's just going so slowly through that corner, and now here we go then, a lovely camera shot of Ollie making the move back up into P6, and he's now going to try and chase down the Aston Martin teammate of ACM, as ACM's actually picked up another penalty. We try and look at that quickly. Interval, no, that's it. 6 seconds, so that'll be Ollie taking P5. Devils Latifi's retired from the session, or he left the session. This is going to give Master Zombie a chance at points. And Argo Wish now still got a bit of work to do if he wants to get that P2. I don't think it's going to happen today, but good race nonetheless. Here we go then, lap number 29, only 3 laps to go in the race. Andres 1.2 seconds behind Ziwa, and it's actually a 3 second time penalty for Master Zombie. I think before that though, we got Ollie trying to go for a move on ACM. I think that's Ollie actually passed now, and that's a yellow flag as to see Haas now into the pits. And that's Lucifer, he's done with this race, so he might have actually, no, he spun at the final corner. No surprises there, as Ollie's going to have to pump him some absolutely rapid times. So you wouldn't put it past him that he could potentially get to the back of Racing Creep. He's going to be much faster than the RB driver. He's got 14 lap old hards. So we'll see. Can Ollie go on a late charge and possibly get P4 in this race? It'll be close. And now Andres still putting in some really good lap times here. It's only 1.2 seconds behind. You must think what he could have done without the front wing damage. Would he possibly be attacking Zert right now? Or still be ahead of him, at least. As Zorro pumps in another fastest lap of this race. Hasn't really had much to do in the race, but put fresh tyres on and go for the fastest laps. A fair play to him. Mojo Peak all over the back of his teammate now. This Epic Tiger joining the battle. You see, a three-way car fight here for P6, as ACM just not really had the pace in the race, but he's got the older tyres on, so he must be struggling. You see now Mojo Peak going for a move on his teammate, both rocking the same number, car 77. Passes car 77, and now it's Mr. Ebi Schreiker now who's going to have to try make a move on ACM. And yeah, Ollie tried to say yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I can't really give it to anyone else. I mean, Racing Creep has had a brilliant race, but that's mainly been down to everyone else fumbling the strategy, to be fair. But yeah, Andres also in with a shout with the broken front wing. It's going to be difficult. Here comes Mr. Epic Striker though. He's also got a shout for the driver of the day, as he's going to try and get past Mo, but he's literally been stuck in the DRS of Mo the whole race and not been able to make the move. So we'll see if he's going to go for a late one there, but I don't think it's going to be possible. See, Ollie now, 3.8 seconds. I said he'd be there or thereabouts maybe with Racing Creepers. He's got much better tyres, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. He's probably going to get to about a second on the last lap, and I think Racing Creeper will just have him covered, but we'll see if he can gain the time through the big heavy traction zones. That's where he needs to gain the most time. It's got to be difficult though. Zorro with a new 3 second time penalty, and I think this race is going to finish completely how it is. I don't see anyone else potentially making a move. Ollie is gaining time though, but I just don't think he can do 2.7 seconds in one lap. It's actually going to be pretty close, I think, as we get to the end of the race. 2.5 now. We'll see. Possibly Ollie could get P4. He's not going to have much battery though if he wants to get a move past on Racing Creeper. I know he's going to be pushing like crazy right now to try and get there. 2.1 now. If he can get within DRS by the time we get to the hairpin, he's got all the chance to see 1.8 seconds now. But he's going to have no battery on the straight now because he's using all that overtake. And he's going to be completely out of deploy. And that'll give Creeper a few temps. But here is the main traction zones. Ollie's going to have much better traction than Racing Creeper through these sections. It's going to be close towards the end of this race. And you see now he's flying through the bridge section. If he can get within DRS on the first straight, he's definitely got all the chance on the second one. You see 1.1 now as Ollie flies through the bridge chicanes. Another yellow flag. I think that's... Oh, it's an Aston Martin. Who is that? ACM, who's had a mistake. And he's down into P10. But either way, we've got to go back on board. You see Ollie 5/10 already. Ollie with a massive comeback on Racing Creeper. Here we go then. This is going to be the closest battle of the race. You see Z-Works now going to come around the final corner. But here we go, Ollie's opened up the DRS and the ERS to try and get a move done. Z-Works comes around the final corner and Z-Works has won the race, but Andres is P2. Here comes Ollie on the outside of Racing Creeper. You see he's trying to make a move round the outside. He has done round the outside of Racing Creeper on the last lap of the Grand Prix. And Ollie is going to take P4 after being absolutely nowhere at the start of the race. What an effort to bring himself back into contention. Racing Creeper, a really good race to finish P5. Win by Z-Work, completely controlled. Andres did well to take his hard tyres, 22 laps, so good effort from him. And you can see Mississippi Striker is actually going to take P6 in the race, so he'll be definitely happy with that. And Latifi on his return, P7, P8 for Mojo P. Mastormy P9, 10th for Chazza, 11th for Kush, missing out on points. Red Ferrari P12, Zorro and Lucify, I don't know where they've been all race. Either way, Z-Work wins the race. Front wing damage you can see there on the front of the car. Obviously I think he did that as he crossed the line. Driver of the day. Oh, there's a few options, isn't there? There's Ollie, there's Racing Creeper, there's Mr. Epic Striker, there's Andres for doing 22 laps on the hards and with front wing damage. I'm gonna have to give it to Ollie, I think. Just based on the fact he got spun round at the first corner to make his way past everyone he's overtook in this race, the amount of overtakes he's done and the amount of entertainment he's brought, and to get Racing Creeper at the end there to get P4, I think we'll have to give it to Ollie for today. Obviously the podium celebrations, accidentally skipped that, but you see Ollie most overtakes. Miss Epic Striker gets given it by the game, which is fair enough. I think they all were within a shout for that. But there we go then. See where Andres, I will wish Ollie, Racing Creeper, Miss Epic Striker, Devils, Mojo Peak, Master Zombie, Siri, Kush, Chazza, Red Ferrari, ACM, Zorro, Lucify, Elite Marvel, Pickard, Mello, J-Lang, Zebra, all retired. Have a look at the race director. There we go. Plenty of warnings in there. I think Z-Work may pick up a penalty. In fact, did he finish 3 seconds ahead? I think he did, yeah. Yeah, finished 3 seconds ahead, so we'll probably get away with that one. But either way, thanks for listening. And I know today was a bit of a different stream than normal. But yeah, if you want to join leagues like this or try and join the one I'm in, you can join Swift Online Racing. And if you just search that on TikTok, I'm sure you can put a message in there and they'll give you an invite to the league. I think they've got the invite on their page itself, so just go on to that. But thanks for watching, and yeah, see you.